Following the defeat of Majin Buu and the evil wizard Babidi, we head into the events of Dragon Ball Super, starting with a brief era of peace lasting about a year. Everyone else moves on with their lives, with Nappa eventually retiring due to his old age, not being able to keep up with everyone else. Raditz and Launch finally gets married after the tournament, with him and Vegeta about to become fathers, both having a child with 21 and Launch. Even Gohan and Trunks also start their relationships with Videl and her best friend Erasa. No one is neglecting their training during this time, so the Z-Fighters are even stronger than ever. Goten unlocks Super Saiyan 2, the humans push their power of their max power forms to new heights, and Yamcha even fully unlocks Super Saiyan 4, showing it off to everyone else. Goku, Vegeta, and Raditz, seeing this form, tries their best to aim for it, following the steps that Yamcha took to transform, but it seems it doesn't work the same for them. That might be because Yamcha has a much different connection to the Ikari form, making it possible for him to combine both Super Saiyan and Ikari. So for the time being, the other Saiyans focus on improving their control over their other forms, with them all having access to Super Saiyan 3 being on the verge of mastering the form. At this point, Gohan and Trunks have both fully mastered their ultimate forms to an insane degree, putting them both as the most powerful fighters on Earth. We fast forward a few months to the start of Bulma's birthday party. Everyone's having a good time, dancing, eating, and enjoying each other's company. That's when we see two familiar faces appear nearby. Of course, it's none other than the god of destruction Beerus and his angel attendant Whis. He's come to find out if any of the Saiyans on this planet are the Super Saiyan God or if they didn't even know anything about it. But since they haven't agitated him by having Majin Buu there, he isn't inclined to immediately destroy the planet. Goku ends up challenging Beerus to a fight, which he accepts as he wants to see what these guys have to offer, even stating that he wants all of them to come at him at once. At first, they didn't really take this request too seriously until Goku starts to fight Beerus, not managing to land a single hit. That's when Whis tells them they should really be taking this seriously, as Beerus could deem this planet unsatisfactory and destroy it. Hearing that, everyone is shocked, with them jumping in and aiding Goku in battle, with everyone here being significantly stronger than their canon counterparts. They put up a much better fight. But even with this increase, they still don't manage to do too much better here. At some point, Gohanks is brought out again with him using his full power Super Saiyan 3 form, he puts up a crazy fight against Beerus. He actually does much better than God Goku does in canon, with his power being pretty comparable to Golden Frieza. Unfortunately, they defuse long before they can even start to push Beerus back, with him almost being completely satisfied with the battle, even though it was very short-lived. He still wants to see the Super Saiyan God, so they ended up asking Shinron, and sure enough, they meet the requirements, not needing to reveal too many secrets too early. They go back and forth about who should become the Super Saiyan God, with them eventually playing rock, paper, scissors, with Goku winning, giving him the form. God Goku fights Beerus, with it looking very similar to the canon fight at first. Then Goku starts to grow more and more used to using his God Ki, with their clashes being much more destructive than it was in canon. On the first clash, they end up breaking into the same dimension that Demon King Buu and Gohanks ended up in the previous part. They're confused a bit at first, but they end up eventually continuing the fight, clashing a few more times as we see them clash through multiple different dimensions until they end up in a white void. Goku finally charges up a godly Kamehameha, with Beerus charging up a Hakai, clashing one last time, pushing Goku into using his full powers, breaking through the dimensionless realm, finally ending up back in their own dimension. The next clash here doesn't actually destroy anything or threaten to destroy anything, since Goku has finally gained full control of his godly ki, with the form slowly starting to fade away. But before they can continue, Whis steps in, stopping the fight, saying they've caused massive damage to the universe, with multiple other dimensions being destroyed in the process. Whis seemingly tries to fix all the damage by rewinding time, but there were a few higher dimensions that were damaged beyond his ability to repair with his own powers, so they'll have to use the Super Dragon Balls to fix it. For the time being, Beerus and other godly beings are forbidden from using uncontrolled power, since it is a threat to all of existence within Universe 7. They return to the party, with Beerus thanking them for the entertainment and the food, as he offers the Saiyans to train with Whis on his planet to gain godly ki and refine it enough to where they don't destroy everything. Gohan and Trunks both decline, But of course, Goku, Yamcha, Vegeta, and Raditz all go to this planet for a few months. They all gain the ability to use Super Saiyan God at will and even manage to combine their God forms with Super Saiyan, unlocking Super Saiyan Blue. The only person who doesn't use the form is Yamcha. He feels like the form doesn't really suit his way of fighting, preferring to stick with his Super Saiyan 4 form. Whis takes note of this, offering to assist him with merging his godly ki into a Super Saiyan 4 form, starting a training regimen built for him to channel his godly ki into the ki-efficient primal form Super Saiyan 4. While they are training, Raditz and Vegeta end up returning back to Earth to be with their wives for the births of their children, both having girls, being the first ones in the group at the moment. Raditz and Launch decide to go with the name of his mother, Gine, and Vegeta and 21 go with the name Echelon. Vegeta finally got to name his daughter like he wanted to in canon, and Raditz named his daughter after his mother, seeing as she looked almost identical to her. Also, not too much earlier, Hen was also born, signifying the next generation of the Saiyan race. Trunks and Erasa aren't ready for kids yet, so Yamcha and Bulma will have to wait a while before becoming grandparents. Moving on, we see Yamcha and Goku sparring on Beerus' planet under the supervision of Whis, with Yamcha being dominated in the fight, seeing as he's just using Super Saiyan 4 while Goku is in Super Saiyan Blue. Still not able to successfully use Super Saiyan or Godly Ki with Super Saiyan 4, he loses the fight, realizing he needs a much bigger push than what they can offer in sparring matches for him to truly be able to use the two forms combined. Whis acknowledges in this, saying he might know just the thing. A few hours later, Champa and Vados arrive on a planet, with the same events leading to the Universe 6 vs Universe 7 tournament happening much earlier than they did in canon. The team for the tournament is gathered, and instead of Monaka and Majin Buu being on the team, we have Yamcha and Raditz here. With how stacked Universe 7 team is compared to Universe 16, the team was also altered a bit, and they were also given a lot of training before they entered the tournament. With the Saiyans already having Super Saiyan 1, 2, and Super Saiyan God, with Hit also getting the usage of God Ki himself. The team now consists of Kaba, Caulifla, Kale, Magetta, and Hit. Starting off, the first fight of the tournament, we have Raditz versus Magetta. At first, Magetta gives him a bit of trouble, being able to take a lot of his hits and increasing the temperature in the arena by a massive degree, until Raditz realizes he's actually pretty weak to insults minutes into the fight. With how big of a trash talker Raditz is in canon, this fight is literally over in seconds, giving Universe 7 the first win of the tournament. Next, he's fighting Kale. And since he's a bit worn out from the heat and the energy he used to try to brute force Magetta out of the ring, he's forced into using his more powerful forms right away. Kale is actually stronger than he is in his God form, so he has to fight her in blue, pushing the fight in his favor, which he eventually eliminates Kale narrowly, making the record 2-0 for Universe 7. Next up, we have Kaba, who out of the gates popped right into God, knocking Raditz right out of the arena before he can even react. Since Raditz used up so much energy so fast with blue and against Magetta, he was not winning the next fight. Vegeta is up next, with him and Kaba having a pretty good fight for a while, with him almost being dead even in Super Saiyan God. But as soon as Vegeta pushes up to blue, the match becomes one-sided, leading to Kaba being eliminated relatively quickly. Champa then starts to panic, seeing as half his team was taken out so quickly, so he just sends in his trump card Hit right away instead of Caulifla, with Vegeta being still put down pretty similarly to how he does in canon. Next up, we have Goku versus Hit. With Goku still figuring out how Hit fights, after watching him fight for a bit, it leads to Hit adapting much earlier, and instead of using Blue Kaioken like he does in canon, Goku just focuses for a bit, as he perfects his ki control in blue, having a much more potent effect than Blue Kaioken ever could have in this fight. They clash back and forth for a bit until Goku slowly starts to show signs of fatigue, leading to him trying to overpower Hit with the Kamehameha, which he starts to at first, but Hit just time skips before he's knocked out of the ring. Goku falls back into his base form as he gets eliminated from the ring by Hit. Piccolo is up next, and with his mastery of Kaioken and his max power form, he has just enough power to clean up Hit here, seeing as he used too much of his power to fight off Goku. Finally, Caulifla enters the ring, powering up into Super Saiyan God, forcing Piccolo on the defensive almost immediately. He turns up the heat almost literally, with Piccolo keeping up with all of his different techniques he has. He manages to hang in there for a bit, even gaining the upper hand over her, But that doesn't last very long when she starts growing in strength. He even manages to tap into Super Saiyan Blue after seeing it used so many times. With Piccolo eliminated, Yamcha is the last from the Universe 7 team to fight. He gets into the ring with Caulifla telling him to skip the warm-up and jump straight into the blue-haired form. He's about to, but then he stops saying, "Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing," transforming into Super Saiyan 4, confusing everyone there but Goku and Whis. Caulifla laughs at the sight of Yamcha, saying he looks just like a monkey, which is ironic to hear coming from another Saiyan. She already knows that his form isn't nearly as strong as Super Saiyan Blue, so she just bullies him for a while until she's had enough, getting ready to eliminate him from the tournament. That's when she notices Yamcha is starting to glow a bit of a different color, as his aura explodes into a more shiny crimson color, with his hair showing tints of the red in it. He looks back up with a smirk on his face, thanking Caulifla for the push he needed to obtain his form, revealing he's finally limit broken his form, naming it Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker. Whis smiles, knowing he's finally successfully combined his godly ki with the Super Saiyan 4 form, making him the strongest Saiyan at this point. They go back to fighting, but it's clear Yamcha has the clear edge here, as he finally starts to go on the offensive, eventually eliminating Caulifla from the ring, making Universe 7 the victor. Champa is angry, of course, until Vados divert his attention to the middle of the arena, signifying the arrival of the Omni King. Just like in canon, Goku and the Omni King become friends, with them promises to start another tournament in the future. Far off, in another universe, we see Zamasu and he's infuriated with how many mortals have made a mockery of the Divine in the recent tournament. The ones that have angered them most are Son Goku and Yamcha for different reasons. Yamcha has soiled Divine energy with the disgusting primitive form he has, making him the biggest target, but Goku is the reason they even own it to begin with. With his mind made up, he decides he's going to take Goku's body instead of Yamcha's, because he can't even fathom using that hideous form. We then cut to a destroyed timeline as we see Trunks escaping with his time machine to the present timeline, narrowly evading a blast from a mysterious figure. He arrives at Capsule Corp, being found by his present counterpart as Gohan flies over with Android 21 and Bulma, also arriving to see what's going on. They all talk to future Trunks, telling him that everyone else is currently in the tournament at the moment, so they are the only ones that can help right now. In the middle of Trunks telling them about the person who's currently rampaging through his timeline, a strange portal opened up, with Goku Black arriving in the present timeline. Gohan and present Trunks look at each other, smiling, before rushing at Goku Black, ready to defend both of their timeline. With that, we'll end this part off here, with Gohan and Trunks taking the spots of Goku and Vegeta in the Goku Black arc. What do you guys think about this part? How do you think the future timeline will play out? As always, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe for more anime related content. Catch y'all next time. Peace.